All right, everybody, listen, let's get this started. First of all, I want to welcome everybody to the Social Sendcere webinar. My name is Steve Schultz, President of Field Operations, along with Vanessa Hunter. She is the Vice President of Marketing here at SendOutCards. Vanessa, this is a very, very special night, and welcome to the webinar.
Thank you so much, Steve. I'm so looking forward to this evening. We've got a great guest with us from Social 5. They're a provider for Social Sendcere. It's the company that put it all together for us, and we are really, really privileged to have this gentleman on this evening. He's been answering questions. If you all knew what he did behind the scenes, I'm telling you, we talk to him all the time, our staff, and he collaborates on things all the time behind the scenes, and he is really invested in making sure that Social Sendcere just hums for all of you. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome our guest this evening, Jeremiah Stetler from Social 5. He's their Chief Content Officer, and I had to verify that earlier, Jeremiah, because I don't hear that very often. Tell me how you got that title.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. It's a pleasure being on today, and excited to give you some tips and to answer some questions that have come with the Social Sendcere platform. Chief Content Officer actually came from my role with overseeing the content team and content strategy for our company, where we have writers across North America and in Australia, really trying to provide the best possible content, to go out to your Facebook pages. So, yeah, obscure title, but happy to have it.
I love it.
So,
I think it's fantastic.
Oh, fantastic. Well, thank you. Well, maybe I'll jump in then. And today we're going to start the first of what will be a webinar series going forward to teach you some of the tips and tricks about Facebook, and about some of the mobile tools that you can use for lead generation purposes, for converting a face-to-face interaction into a sale, and some of these great tools that happen in social media. One of the great things about direct marketing and network marketing is the type of conversational interaction that you have on Facebook and Twitter and Google Plus and some of these other channels. They're so conducive to a sales environment, with what we're trying to accomplish here. So we'll go through some Facebook tips tonight. We're going to start at a basic level and go through some questions that we get, from those of you who just started on the service, and we'll work our way up in sophistication to different strategies that you can use to enhance your presence if you're already socially savvy, as you might say. And I'll include a few of those here today. Also, I've received a number of questions from you already that I've included in this presentation. We're going to get there at the end, but just a compilation, you might say, of the like the top 10 of questions that have come my way. So let me start out here, and before we jump into the actual meat and potatoes of the presentation, just want to talk a little bit about some of the resources that are available to you and some of the things to expect from this service going forward, of what can you expect to see in your Facebook page, what tools are available to you, to give you a little bit of a sense of the power you have with social marketing. So first of all, you all have probably seen the Resource Center where you signed up for the service. Now, there are some tools there that you may not have seen at first blush. Now, the first one is the introductory video where we made Corey Bateman a star. So that was great. There's the online sign-up for new and existing distributors. Now, let me just point out the FAQ button down below the sign-up. The FAQ is really designed to provide you with answers to every single question we've heard under the sun when it comes to the service. So if you want to scroll through there, really just browse through and see if there's anything that stands out to you that may help solve a problem you are having right now with social media. The next one is a social media tip sheet. You'll see the little tips button right there next to the FAQ. The tips button gives some of the more common and more complex questions that we get with social media One of those being the mobile site that we provide, so you can help capture email addresses and send out email marketing through our system. That one is a little bit more of an obscure tool, for folks. Everyone's familiar with Facebook. Mobile's a little bit tougher, and so if you go into the tip sheets there, you'll find a number of different tools about how to effectively use that, how to add it to your phone, so it can be a one-click, tool directly from your mobile device. We'll give you some buttons for some demo accounts for Facebook and mobile. Obviously, most of you are probably on the system right now, and so you'll see how that's flowing out in real time. Down at the bottom, descriptions of packages, and then an email support if you have any questions for us. I've also put the web address for that page down at the bottom of the screen here. So jumping into the aspects of the package, this will help out as we talked about some posting strategies tonight. The Facebook component really comes with three elements. The first is graphics. Every social media strategy needs to have a great first impression. So we've provided with SendOutCards some graphics that will really pop on your page, really give it a fun feel. So that's the very first element. All of these graphics do come to you in your Facebook account. So if you ever clicked on a little photos button, you're going to see all of these images. So you can swap them out whenever you'd like. The next one is weekly postings. Now these are posts that link back to your Sendcere account. They may link to third-party articles like great ways to preserve those favorite cards, or they may be inspirational quotes or ways to help build your business. But those types of posts will go out there 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Now those days aren't magical. I mean, there's not it's not that Monday is a higher traffic day than Wednesday or Tuesday, whatever it may be. But those 3 days are for a reason philosophically. We want to make sure that you have a regular stream of content, a predictable stream of content going to your page, so that you know that Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you can expect that there is going to be content appearing on your page. Tuesday and Thursday, we leave open, and there's a reason for that. The most powerful pages, the most engaging pages, always have the person hopping on there and commenting on, liking, posting photos that we couldn't take of you unless we had hidden cameras, but just things that would really personalize your page. So we'll do a lot of the heavy lifting for you. Your job is to personalize the page on Tuesday, Thursday. We recommend 1 to 2 times a week jumping on there. Make sure that if someone comments on your page or on a post or likes a post, that you interact with that person. And we'll talk a little bit about that today. And then the last one is custom tabs. And these are important for receiving credit when a purchase is made. So you'll have 3 tabs, one that is looking at products, another one that is opportunity, and another one that just is talking about Sendcere and really the platform there. All of those 3 tabs are tied into your distributor number, so that you will be able to get credit for any purchases or any members who join that go through those tabs. All right, the next portion of it is mobile, and this is what our next webinar will be, and I would definitely encourage everyone to participate in that one and encourage their teams to participate, because that's the great unknown, the mystery of it all, of how that mobile tool works. And there's some great tools available for you there. But the mobile device, the mobile tools, it's available on a desktop, on a tablet, on a smartphone. And really what it does is it acts in much the same way as an electronic business card, so that you can capture email addresses on the go. And I'll show you how that works and how to access that device on your phone. The next is a monthly blog. And this is content, longer length content, 200 to 400 words, that goes out on your mobile device twice a month, and then we'll tease it out there on your Facebook page as well. And then the last portion is the email capture and email marketing. This is the hard lead generation portion of the package. Now, you've probably heard some of those marketing terms of soft leads versus hard leads, and the Facebook mobile package is designed to integrate both. Facebook is more of a soft lead generation tool where you are creating a community, creating a discussion, trying to get people to recognize and follow you as a brand. Purchases come a little slower with most companies. Now, I'm going to put a little asterisk there because never before have we worked with a company that aligns so closely with social media as does SendOutCards. Everything about SendOutCards, seems to speak to the social engagement that has made Facebook and Twitter, such popular channels. So I'll put a little asterisk there for you to remember, and you can look and see what sort of conversions come through your Facebook presence. The mobile tool is designed to be a hard lead generation tool. So when we're doing face-to-face interaction and meeting with people, this is where you can capture those contacts and then cultivate those leads. All right, so jumping into the webinar for tonight, and this will last about 20 minutes, and we'll open it up to some Q&As. We'll also touch on the questions that have come in beforehand. Feel free to email us if you have questions that you would like covered in future webinars, and we'd love to help with that. So we're going to start basic with talking about the difference between a personal page versus a business page, one of those confusing parts of using Facebook. How to access your business page. Next, how to change your personal information if you want to add a phone number, a website address, if you want to change the name of your page, any of that sort of thing. Oh, and there's the next bullet point, how to change your page name. Then we'll get into changing your photos and graphics if you want to swap out those cover images. If you decide that the profile picture is 10 years too young and you want to put a new one up there, whatever it may be. How to create a post or a photo on your page, and some posting strategies there. So we'll start here with the difference between a personal page and a business page. And some of you probably scratched your head and wondered why Facebook does differentiate between those two, and why you would want to have a business page if you already have a personal profile that has 300 friends or 500 friends, whatever it may be. So a personal page really is a place where you make friends. It's about expanding your network, connecting with people in your community, people you went to high school with, people you went to college with, those types of people. You send out those friend requests and you can receive them in return, but it's meant to be kept private. So they're meant for communication between friends, not necessarily for the world. And the next part is you can tell about yourself. They offer options for talking about books and movies and hobbies and any other information you want people to know about you. Now, the secret of that is that Facebook, and maybe it's not a secret, but Facebook collects that information and allows business pages to target their advertising using some of those tools. So if someone searched for a person who lives in Salt Lake City and loves The Matrix and is only just over 5 feet tall, they'd probably get me. So that you can target someone very specifically based on the interests and the things that they put out there on their personal pages. So a business page includes some different tools, and these tools allow you to create an audience. Think about it in terms of a online storefront or just a physical storefront. That you want people to come in your doors, you want people to like your product, you want them to browse your aisles and potentially make a purchase. So business pages are meant to be the same way. You're attracting a fan base, an audience, and the content is meant to be public and available to anyone who's subscribed to your page. When you do publish a post, it will go out to a percentage of that audience so they can interact with your content. The next is there are new tools or different tools you can use, such as Facebook tabs, and we'll show you a little bit about what those do, events, invitations, advertisements, page promotions, all sorts of things that you can do to strategically put your message out there. Now, those two pages need to be connected. Now, they're not connected in a way that if I go to your business page, that I'll suddenly be able to see all of your personal photos and get your personal information and any of that. That's not the case. They are separate and distinct for everyone on the outside. The place where they are connected is you administer or manage your business page using your personal profile. So you've noticed when you get to your business page, you log into your personal account, and then you go to your business page from your personal account. That's where the connection lies. None of the personal information will be shared or disclosed as part of your business page. Okay, so hopefully that explains a little bit about the difference there. Moving on, a big question we receive is, how do I get to my business page? I know how to get to my personal page, so what do I do now? There really are two ways. The first one is the search bar up at the top of the screen where you can type in your name. The other one is the menu bar off to the left-hand side where you'll see a pages subheading or a menu there where you can click on your page. Now my page has, I have lots of accounts there. You'll probably only have one or two depending on how many business pages you have. So let me just show you exactly how that works. If I were to go into the search bar at the top of the screen, I could type in my business. So your business here, and it would pull up a drop-down menu where you could click on whatever business is yours. Okay, so that's the first way to access the page. The second way is on the left-hand side of the screen. You'll notice that under the Pages menu, you can identify where your business falls. So I just identified my business here, and I can click on that to access the page. Now, some of you who are more socially savvy are probably saying, hey, Jeremiah, there's actually one more way I can get to my page, a way that I get there routinely. There is a third way, and I'm going to discourage you from using it. I'll show it to you, but I discourage you from using it because it will prevent you from using some of the audience building tools that we're going to discuss in future webinars, or the audience building tools that you may be able to experiment with on your own. So that is the arrow in the upper right-hand corner of your Facebook page. If you click on that, you'll see that it says Use Facebook As, and it'll give you the option to pick your page. What that will do is now when you click on your page, Facebook will pretend that your personal page no longer exists. You won't have access to share content out on your wall, to invite friends, any of those things that are meant to increase the publicity or attention on your page. Okay, so access it through the search bar or through the Pages menu on the left-hand side of your screen. Now you may be asking, what happens if my business page doesn't appear? If that's the case, you probably still need admin access to your page. All you need to do in that case is contact our support team at support@social5.com, and we can grant you those admin rights to your page. During the sign-up process, you probably remember getting an email where it says add Jill Gardner as a friend. By adding her as a friend, it allows us to bestow those admin rights on you so that you can see your analytics, you can post things on your own behalf, you can change out your graphics, and do a number of other things that aren't available to people who are not admins. So let's jump in. Welcome to your Facebook business page. We're going to start out with talking about how to change your personal information. And this can be great for a number of reasons. Obviously, we want people who interact with your Facebook page to go and do business with you or to reach out to you in some way. We also want you to be able to be found. If they search for you on Google, the About section allows you to have greater searchability through a search engine such as Google or Yahoo. So to do that, pretty simple. You'll see the little About tab right next to your profile picture. All you need to do is click on that About section, and what's going to happen is it will pull up an About section here. You might need some magnifying glass, sorry about that, to see it. There's an About section that it will pull up where you can change your personal contact information. All you need to do is hover over that section and press the Edit key to be able to have access to areas where you can change elements on your page. Let me show you some of the things that you can change there. and I'm going right to page name. I'm going to go back for a moment. If I were to look on this side, you're going to see a number of different elements. We're going to skip the top one because that will be the next element we'll go to. But you'll notice a street address, a short description of your business. You'll be able to give a company overview, your phone number, any awards you received, your website, any of these types of things you can use to customize and enhance your page. And I would encourage you to fill out as much of that as you can because it does help with searchability. It helps people so they can learn more about you simply by visiting your Facebook page. Now, if you do want to change your page name, you can do that. The one little note that I'll put down here on the bottom is you can change your page name until you have 200 likes. After that, you can only change it one time. So think seriously about what you want to have as your Facebook page name, okay? And change that early while your audience is small, so that as it grows, you don't find yourself in a pickle by being over that threshold and not being able to change. Okay. So what you do is, again, click on the About button right next to your profile picture, edit your personal information, and you'll see your business name appear at the top of the screen. All you need to do is click Edit, and it'll allow you to type in the name of your new business. Okay, so super easy. If you have under 200 likes, you'll be able to change that, very quickly. You will notice if you immediately went back to your page and tried searching for it, it's not going to show up as your business name. Well, it'll show up immediately on your page, but if somebody searched for you on Facebook, it takes about 24 hours for that new name to go into effect and to be searchable through Facebook. All right, so how do we change our personal photo? This is particularly true if you end up signing up and you're just searching around for something. You find a casual photo that you want to throw up there, and you may want to change it over time. This is how you'll do that. All you'll need to do is hover your cursor over your profile picture and click Update Profile Picture. What this will do is allow you to open a screen where you can upload it from your directly from your computer. So the photo item needs to be on your desktop, or Facebook will allow you to take a photo right there on your webcam if you'd like to, right off of your screen. You will notice I have a little edit box off to the side. Sometimes you may want to grab a photo that has you with lots of family or friends in there, and you want to either scale it down to fit, or you want to crop the image so that it only shows you. Facebook does allow that. There is an edit thumbnail image that you can take there. All right, the process is exactly the same for changing your cover image. Okay, so it starts really with hovering your cursor over the photo, just like you did with the profile picture. Hover your cursor over it. What will happen is you'll have the opportunity to change the cover. You'll see that on the right-hand side of the screen. Change your cover, and it's going to give you some options. It'll offer to have you upload one from your computer, or you can select from your photos. Now, with the profile picture, the one that we just talked about, you'll probably want to upload one of those from your computer because that's where the photo will lie. But under your cover image, this is where you'll be able to pull down any of those images that SendOutCards has provided as cover images to the top of your Facebook page. You can change those anytime. You can change them every day if you would like to. I'd probably recommend not changing them more than once a month, really, so you can have some continuity of branding up there on the top. But you'd click change cover and select a photo from your screen. All right, here's an example of the photos that are available to you. Different colors and looks and feels that you can change out anytime. All right, the next one is, how do I make my own post? Now this is super important because one of the misconceptions that comes with the service that we're providing is that, oh, you know what, Social 5 has my Facebook covered. I never need to get on there. I never need to look at it because business is just going to grow, automatically from that page without me doing anything. There may be some business that comes that way, but I would guarantee that if you develop a posting strategy on your own, you will be far more successful and generate far more leads than you could otherwise. Remember, Tuesday, Thursdays, those are open days where you can post, various things to personalize the page. So there are a number of things I want to show you here on how to post. First one is to identify the status update bar at the top of your Facebook page. So you see that there. If you go to your own Facebook business page, you'll see your face there, and you'll have an opportunity to leave a comment. There are a number of different types of posts that you can put up, and I'll show you a little bit about what those types are and what the benefits are of each different type of posting. So let's take a look. Now, the first thing I do want to do, though, is first remember to do this if you're going to make a post. A lot of times you'll put a lot of thought and energy into a Facebook post. You'll hit post, and it won't appear, and you're like, where in the world did it go? And you'll end up finding that post on the left-hand side of your Facebook page under Posts by Others. This is a real common mistake. So before you post on your Facebook business page, what you need to do is click on this little button off to the side. So you'll notice the status update bar. There'll be a little down arrow where you can select who you are posting as. Are you posting as yourself, as your personal page, or are you posting as your business? And you do want to post as your business. You notice when I click on that button, it pulls up our Connie Create. That's a personal page we use for giving people admin rights and managing accounts. And then you see my business page here at the bottom, okay? So I want to select my business page so that it does appear on that news feed, so that people do see that it's the business as posting and commenting and liking, okay? Very important step to do before you post. All right, so we'll jump in. First one is a status update. Now, these are the most common types of posts on Facebook. They can consist of as many words or as few words as you like. They may include a link. They may not include a link. The most important thing to remember is don't make these salesy. They need to be social. They need to be conversational. They need to be fun. Think about the times that you go onto Facebook. You're not going on there to buy. You're not going on there to be sold. You're going on there to have a social experience. Now, if you do happen to find your way into a product or in something interesting that you want to buy, great. But it needs to start as a social experience. So you'll see a couple of posts on here. This is one I thought was kind of fun. A solar-powered suit where you can stick your cell phone in your pocket and it will automatically recharge while you're working. Kind of amazing. Okay. So that was just a fun little post that they put up on my page. And you'll notice that it links out not to Social 5, but to discovermagazine.com. So the point is that I wanted to attract people to my page to something that's interesting, so that I become their daily digest or their weekly digest of information that's relevant to my business. Okay. But then I send people out to places that I think would be valuable for them. So that's an important part of social media, to have a blend or a mix of content that is promotional and non-promotional. Generally, they say a 60-40 rule is where you like to fall. 60% of your content being non-promotional, 40% being promotional. Now, in the case of SendOutCards, where you have an amazing social platform in Sendcere, those are social interactions that people may not associate with being a business or a sales setting. So that ratio may be able to come a little bit closer together to a 50-50 or whatnot without eroding your audience. Okay? So the one thing I would recommend on a business page, think about frequency, that you don't want to post more than once to twice a day. On a business page, that can be perceived as spam, and it can lead to an erosion of your audience. You want to post maybe once a day or every other day, and that will give you a high level of interaction. So if you are able to post on Tuesday, Thursday, awesome. Then you'd have something that comes out every day of the week. Okay, try posting at different times of the day. One thing you'll notice, and you've probably wondered about this a little as you've seen the posts going out from our team, is sometimes they may be at 8 in the morning. Sometimes they'll be at 3 in the afternoon or 11 o'clock at night. 9 o'clock in the morning tends to be an awesome time to reach people who are businessmen, who work in an office environment, who have a cubicle, unlike hopefully most of us that are moving outside that cubicle world. The 9 to 11 o'clock at night tends to be an amazing time to reach women, generally middle age, 35 to 45. That's a high traffic time for them. So you might think that a post going out at 11 o'clock is shooting in the dark. And I guess you are shooting in the dark, but there's actually a high volume of women on Facebook at that time of the day. Okay, so try to time your content at different points of the day when you may attract a different audience. Okay, you may be surprised at the people that you interact with. The next one is posting a photo. Now, photos, full-size photos, interact or generate more interaction than any other type of content, with the exception of maybe videos. Okay, and last I looked, they even outpaced videos, and that may be because of the volume of full-size photos as opposed to videos. But the reason is we've become a very visual culture. You do see that a lot of the cards that we've been posting up there, we stream them out as large images instead of including them as the thumbnail that you may see if you try posting them yourself. So full-size photos are great. Okay, so to do that, click on your status update field and then select photo video. What it will do is it will take you to this next screen where it will give you the chance to upload those from your computer. Once you do so, it says choose file. You'll select it from your computer and then type something about it. Say something that is fun. I mean, just make sure that it's not buy my car today and get half off. Whatever it happens to be, don't make it a sales pitch or a used car salesman pitch. Make it something that is social. Okay. The next one is an event. If you happen to have an event you're putting on, and this could be if your team is getting together, if you're doing a meeting in a hotel, conference room, or maybe you're doing something at your home. These are ways that you can invite all of your fans to that event, or a select group of your fans to that event. Now, some of you may have heard that Facebook has made some changes to its algorithm for how it shows posts to people. So it's allowing it prevents businesses from showing content to everybody, all of their fans at one time. Okay, so it goes out to a select percentage at any given moment. An event goes around that and allows you to send a direct invitation to the fans of your choice. What you do is you click on Offered Event here on the top of that status update, select Event, and then it's going to open up this screen here where you can type in the name of your business, what the event happens to be, what time it's at, and then click Create. And it'll give you the option to target certain fans of yours. You can select all of them, whatever it would be. Now, the power of this is as soon as you send out an event, it's going to appear at the top of their Facebook page in that little world icon. It's a notification icon, so that the little number 1 showing your notification doesn't go away until they click on it. Okay, so those are some tools for really publicizing an event. All right, so that wraps up the general part of our webinar today. We do have a Q&A session I'd like to go through, and some questions that were asked prior to this event that I'd like to go over. But before we do that, I just want to highlight what some of the upcoming webinars are going to be. Today was Facebook Basics. Hopefully there were some tips and tricks that you learned, even if you are, savvy on Facebook. Okay. Next, we're going to be talking about understanding mobile and using those mobile tools effectively to convert a face-to-face interaction into a customer, into a sale. Audience building comes next, and it's audience building on Facebook. It's audience building on email with email marketing. And then lastly, we'll talk about measuring your success. And this is understanding analytics, being able to track how your posts are performing. So that's the next lineup. Now, of course, there will be additional webinar topics as we go through. We'll give some more detailed explanations on types of content and give you some some different tips on content that performs particularly well on Facebook with pop culture and with and I'll leave that for the next webinar. But just want you to know that this will be an ongoing educational series that we'll record, we'll put up on the resource page, so that you'll have the opportunity to watch these anytime, or if your team wants to watch them, those will be available to them. So before we jump into the questions, from our audience today, let me show you some of the questions that have come in over the last week in preparation for this webinar. Many of you have seen these cards from Sendcere. They're appearing out on your Facebook page. This was one for crisp days, cold nights. A great one for autumn that has been going out to a number of your pages. So once you click on that card, it takes you back to Sendcere. Now you may have followed this yourself already. So when you get to that page, we've had the question: how do I know if this post is linked to my distributor ID? How do I know if I'm going to get credit? Because all that I'm seeing right up here in the post is this crazy Google link. It doesn't have my distributor ID or anything in that link. Okay? So let me show you how you do that. And I'd like you to test this. When you go to your Facebook page, I want you to test this so you can experience it yourself and make sure that the cards are indeed going to you. So the first thing I do is I want to click on Edit and Send Card. Okay. So if I do that, oh, there's a little hand there. What if we have another hand that's going to show up? Oh, no, no more other hands. So if I click on that, Edit and Send the Card, I'll have the opportunity to continue and send this card anywhere in the world, and I click Send. Okay. Now take a look at the screen that it pulls up. You're going to notice your card. Look up in this the link at the top. What you're going to find is your sponsor number automatically populated at the end of that link. That's what you need to look for, okay? And that will tell you if you are getting credit for any content that is published on your page. Now, every Sendcere card that we put in our system contains a specialized or an individualized link to your specific Sendcere account. The only reason why this wouldn't go to your Sendcere account is if your distributor ID were either mistyped or excluded during the sign-up process, okay? And so if it is not coming up, please let us know. Please reach out through support@SendOutCards.com, and we can make sure to get the correct distributor ID in there. So check that out, but that's a question that's come to us quite a bit. Hopefully this gives you some tools for being able to determine whether or not that is indeed working. Next question we received is, hey, I'm not getting 3 posts a week. Can you tell me why? And absolutely yes. With SendOutCards, we have implemented a technology that hasn't been available for many of our other customers. And what that is any of the links that we post that go to SendOutCards or Sendcere, with the exception of some news events that come on or maybe a convention coming up, that sort of thing, the links all contain a personalized URL or a personalized link that's embedded with your distributor ID, because we want to make sure that you're getting credit for as much as possible, especially where SendOutCards is such a social tool and such a tool that's built, it's built for social media. Okay, so if you aren't getting your posts 3 times a week, chances are your distributor number isn't working. Now, the question is why in the world would those be related? So Jeremiah, sorry about that. The reason why they're related is if a post is going out to your page, that would normally link to a card, a greeting card, that should have your distributor ID in it. If your ID is not present, the system will not deploy the post because it doesn't want to have a broken link or an incorrect link going to your page. Okay, so if you're not getting those, reach out to us and see if your distributor ID is correct. Okay, so that would be a reason why you're not getting 3 posts a week. One question we have received is, why am I not receiving 3 blogs a week? The content that comes through your channels consists of 3 posts per week. These would be cards. It could be links to outside parties. They're meant to be short and sweet, something that someone could read very quickly. The posts that have the highest shareability on Facebook actually have fewer than 15 words in the text. Kind of interesting. Okay, so we post those types of posts 3 times a week, and then your blogs go twice a month, and we tease that out on Facebook as well. Last of all, and this is a question about how, now that I have a Facebook page, how should I use it to be able to get the biggest marketing bang out of our buck with it? So here's what you do. I mean, and these are just 5 simple tips to get you going. First is become an active poster. Make sure that you are posting Tuesdays and Thursdays. Sorry to harp on that one. I guess I probably mentioned that way too much, but personalize your page with photos, events, new cards, or other items that would speak to you personally. Next, join the conversation. So if someone comments on your page, don't forget to comment back. I remember I was working with a restaurant, and they would only respond back to negative comments. As a result, their Facebook page was just riddled with dialogue and conversation about negative things. You want to comment on positive and negative. You want to comment even if someone just says, great post. Make sure that people know that they are recognized, that they're appreciated, that you're aware of them. Make sure to thank them. Like their comment. You can click the little like button and make them feel like you're ready to serve. And I'm going to show you here. This is an example of a post that had gone out where no one commented on the post. But what they did do is there was a gentleman by the name of Ephraim Torrio who had shared the post out on his personal page. Now that's important because a share means a lot. The average Facebook user has 338 fans, or 338 friends, sorry. So if you can get a single share, you have the potential to reach 338 people through their page. So what this particular distributor did is they wrote a comment and said, hey, thank you for sharing, Ephraim Torrio. We appreciate you. Now, because he has shared or interacted with this post, anything that you comment on goes directly to him. And it also goes to the 3 people who have liked the page. They are tied into that conversation and get direct messages from that conversation. So interact with people. If you do have 3 people liking the page, say, put a comment. Say, hey, thanks, Jim, Bo, and George for liking my post. I appreciate that a bunch. That gives the opportunity to start a dialogue and turn this into a business tool. The next tip is to think social. This is a frame of mind. When you are out at an event, snap a photo on your phone and post it to Facebook. If there's an event, let people know about it. Look for ways that you can just incorporate what you're doing day to day with Facebook. It is visual. It's meant to be social. So try to change your mindset a little bit about how that works. The Dare to Dream team that I just showed you on the previous page, they had someone. They had a conference, a meeting where they were presenting, and just had someone take pictures of them up on stage and post them up on Facebook. Those ended up being the highest engagement posts of their the past month that they've been on. They received 17 shares off of those photos. Really incredible. And think about that. 17 shares. The average person has 338 friends. If you do the math there, that's a significant audience. Okay. Next is use your mobile tools. Absolute must. something we'll talk about more in our next webinar. Not only does it drive traffic to your Facebook page, but it allows you to cultivate those leads. So this would be a case, and I have the mobile device up here with what that electronic-looking business card would appear as on your phone, so that you can type in their email address. In any time you'd be in a situation where you're interacting face-to-face, they would get a bounce-back email from you with your contact information, and then every month they receive an email written by our writing team on your behalf that goes out that just keeps you top of mind with them. That's going to help you build and grow your audience both on email and on Facebook. And then number 5, because I love 5s, is just have fun. Think about this as a social experience. So use it as a billboard. Build a community, build dialogue, build a business that way. All right. So with that said, those were the elements from the questions beforehand. I'm gonna break here and toss it back to see if there are questions from the group, and then I'll move back to the screen where you can see our place to leave comments. All right. So with that, I'll open it up for questions.
Thanks so much, Jeremiah. This is such great information. Had a few questions as we went along there, and so the first one that I have is somebody wanted to know if when they post their personal photo on their business page, should it be a personal photo or should it be some business-type graphic on their profile photo?
Great question. And the answer is actually that you'd want to have it be more personal. We actually find that photos shot with a cell phone tend to have a higher virality rate or a higher shareability rate than a professional stock image or a professional photo, because people feel like it's a social experience. Now, if you're at a business event, definitely take a photo, but if you do have some personal things, what you want to do is make the person on the other end, your fan base, start to associate with you or relate to you. Think of you as a person with feelings, a person who cares about them, and a person that they want to do business with. So yes, please share personal as well as business types of information and photos.
That's great. Okay, and this one relates to cover photos. So we've got that profile photo on the left side, but this one relates to the cover photo, the big banner at the top. The question was, are we limited to what is provided, or can we change it and add something of our own?
Yeah, great question. And you can actually provide your own cover image if you'd like. So you do have control of your page to be able to post whatever photo you'd like if you think there's something that may be more relevant to your brand. The only caution I would give is just make sure that you that your photo doesn't include any claims about compensation or things that may land you in legal trouble, but you are welcome to update that and personalize as much as you'd like.
That's great. Okay, and here's a great question. Facebook sometimes shows something called Boost Post, and this person wants to know, what does it mean and what happens if I click on Boost Post? Awesome.
I love that question. And we actually will have a webinar on audience building that's going to touch on this one. But I'll give you a sneak peek so that you can use that. The Boost Post is a function exclusively for business pages that allows you to take a piece of content and pay a certain amount, whether it's $5, whether it's $100, to reach a certain audience. Now, what that does, the audience is kind of important to think about. Through boosting, Facebook first ensures that your post is seen by all of your existing fan base. So if I have 100 people, it's going to ensure that all 100 people see my fan base. And then what it does is it goes out through the networks of those 100 people to their friends and family through their Facebook pages to build out an even larger audience. And then it continues to go from there. It's building from your nucleus on your page and growing out. Now, generally, if you click Boost, and I would encourage you to do that if you're curious about it, click boost, it will show like spend $5, and it will give you an estimated audience, generally between 740 to 2,000 people, that it will guarantee will see your post for that $5 spend. It's super affordable. Okay, or you can go all the way up to $100, and your post may be seen by 19,000 to 25,000 people, just depending on what you want to spend to help enhance a piece of content that's going out.
Great. All right. And another question here, can we attach our business page to Hootsuite, to our Hootsuite account?
You definitely can. And the app that we're using through SendOutCards to stream your content functions independently from the app that Hootsuite would use. So you can go ahead and schedule as much as you'd like through Hootsuite. You can also schedule through Facebook, has its own scheduling tool as well, and they do function hand in hand with the things that we're doing.
Now, when you're talking about scheduling, you're talking about scheduling posts ahead of time, right?
That's correct. So I could say I'm going to post a photo, but I want it to appear 3 days from now at 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
And Facebook has that ability for the business page.
Say that one more time?
And are you saying that Facebook has that ability through the business page?
Yes, it does. And we'll show you that visually coming up later on. But there is Facebook does have its own schedule tool where you can click and program your content to come out a couple days later. So that is an option.
Okay, here's another one. This lady says, crazy question. I'm not currently set up to receive email on my phone. Can I still collect email addresses, and will my prospects still receive email from me?
Definitely you can. The mobile app that we use functions outside of a traditional inbox or email client. One of the things you'll see on the resource page under tips is how to add the mobile app to your phone. Once you click on that and put someone's email address in, it will automatically load it into an email database that we're maintaining for you, so that they will be part of that marketing campaign. When you do that, it will send an email back to your own email address, just confirming that it's happened and giving you that email address so you can keep it on hand. But you definitely can do that.
All right, we've got time for one or two more questions because we've got to wrap this up. But I've got a question here. Can we see the copy that's in the email that goes out monthly to our mobile subscribers? Does it look like it's from us?
Yes, it does. One of the cool parts about that monthly email is it appears to come directly from your email account. So it'll say that it's coming from, in my case, Jeremiah at Social Pie. It'll have my name there, and it will appear to be going simply to that one recipient. None of this undisclosed recipient stuff that gets things clogged up in a spam folder. It looks like it's coming directly from you directly to that person, and will include your contact information and a photo as well.
All right, great. And then I have another one. How can I like a post on my business page from my personal page?
What you can do is when you go to your business page, you'll remember. Let me just. I'm going to move back a slide on here to show you. Because this might be easier shown. All right. So on this screen, you'll see that when I went to make a post, I was using Facebook as my business. Okay. I could also select to do it as my personal page. This is the case also when you're interacting with posts on your business page. Okay. So if let's say something comes out from on Monday that came from SendOutCards, you could click on that button on the side and say I want to like it as my personal page rather than as my business page, and then it would appear that way.
All righty. And a real basic question here, is a business page a whole separate Facebook account, or is it only a page added to your personal page? We don't quite get this.
Yes. And don't feel bad for not understanding that that's a difficult concept. A business page is not a separate account. It's exactly like the way it was stated. It is simply a page that is built off of your personal page. That business page may be able to have multiple people under it, but it's built off of a personal page.
That's awesome, and I could go all night. I mean, the questions are flying in, so we'll definitely, what we'd like you to do is send these questions in to us for future webinars, and so that we can update the FAQ page with some of these questions. But one final question, Jeremiah. Who is Jill Gardner, and why does everyone know her?
Yes, Jill Gardner is the wonderful soccer mom celebrity that joined us to talk about the social media service. So you'll see her when you are on the resource page, walking you through the service. We thought she would be a much better face than any of us, to talk about the service. And one thing I just want to mention real quick here is, I have been so impressed by the amount of passion and engagement, from those of you who are participating in the program. This is a record-setting webinar for Social 5. I've worked for, I've done webinars for a lot of companies, and some of those companies have had thousands of distributors receiving our service. Never before have we crossed the 150 mark with number of participants in a single webinar, and I think that speaks volumes to you for taking the time out of your schedule, and it also bodes extremely well for the success of your social media service, because individual engagement, individual passion, that's what's going to drive and enhance those sales. So thank you for letting me take time out of your schedules and being able to provide some of these tips to you.
Wow, and we blew those numbers out of the water, huh? That is fantastic.
Absolutely.
Thanks so much, Jeremiah, for your time, your expertise, for sharing everything that you shared with us this evening. We're looking forward to so many more informative webinars and to a very long relationship with you. This is really exciting. Steve?
Yeah, guys, I sat on this webinar as a total I wasn't a participant. I was learning so much, because I am not a social media expert, and I'm telling you what, Social 5 makes me look like a superstar. I love the content. I love how it all looks. I'm going to be able to refer back to this webinar again and again and again. So, Jeremiah, thank you so much. I think this relationship is going to be, it's gonna be wonderful for the people that actually participate. So thank you for everything that you're doing for us.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, everyone, for joining us this evening. We really appreciate you taking time out of your schedule. Now, what do you say to them, Steve? What do they need to go do now?
I don't know. You caught me. What? What do they need to go do?
You're so funny. What do you say all the time to me? He's like, now go sign up a rep.
Yeah, I'll go sign up a rep. Thanks, everybody. You guys have a great evening.
Thanks, everyone. Good night.